This is key, that people live what they say.
Amen.
Some may ask the question, Franklin, would your father have done this? I hear that a lot. I believe if he were my age and living today where we are today, he would be here. No question. I'll tell you why I would say that. Because here's something my father said in 1952, the year I was born. I think it's the duty, he said, of every individual Christian at election time to study the issues and candidates and then go to the polls and vote.
Yes.
He said, if I were a pastor, now listen up, pastors. He said, if I were a pastor of a church, I believe I would explain to my people where each candidate stood morally, spiritually, and in relationship to the church. I feel that we're going to have to meet our political obligations as Christians and make our voice known if America is to be preserved.
That's right.
This Christian heritage, which has given us the liberties we now enjoy.
Yes.
He said, for unless America turns back to God,
That's right.
repents of its sin, and experience a spiritual revival, we will fail as a nation.
Yes.
I believe God honors leaders in high places who honor Him.
Yes.
We need today men and women who will honor God.
Yes. Yes.
And we need men and women in high places.
Yes.
We need them in public office
Yes.
who will honor God. America is being stripped of its biblical heritage
Yes.
and God-inspired foundations.
Yes.
You know, growing up in my generation, we were afraid of the red threat. Remember, the commies were coming. I remember the school I went to, the public school in North Carolina. We had civil defense food stored in the bottom of that school. They had 5-gallon cans of water. They had these biscuits that would last for 40 years. Rats wouldn't even eat them. And we would practice, the siren would go off every now and then, and they would practice like we were being attacked, right? And we would get under our desk and we would put our hands over our head like that's going to help. We were just, you know, the commies were coming and we were ready. Well, the wall came down. And we all said, you know, the Cold War's over, we won, we relaxed. Well, then secularism came. And secularism infected our governments, our state, federal, and local. Secularism and communism are no different. They're the same. They're godless. And we have godless secularism in our state capitals. We have them in our communities, all across this country, especially in Washington.
Yes.
You mention the name of Christ. You try to pray at a ball game.
I know.
You try to lift up the name of Christ in any public forum, and what happens? The lawyers come and say, we're going to sue you. And so people begin to back up. People go, oh, I don't want to get sued. You know, let me tell you, get sued.
Yes.
Get sued.
I know it.
Let's
Yes.
lift up the name of Christ. Let's take our country back.
That's right. That's right.
When I went to school, we had the 10 Commandments on the wall. Yeah. We had the 10 Commandments that the teacher led in the Lord's Prayer.
Yes.
And you say, well, but Franklin, that woman, maybe she didn't believe anything. Well, maybe she did, but she still led the Lord's Prayer.
That's right. That's right.
We said the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes. Evermore.
The Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. Don't do this anymore. All of this is gone. My father said in 1976, he said, get involved in the political process this coming year. I'd like to challenge every deeply committed American who is qualified to think about running for political office to pray about it. I don't believe that we as Christians should withdraw. We need men and women of integrity and Christian commitment who will run for political office this coming year, no matter to which political party you belong.
Yes.
He went on to say, it is the duty of Christian themselves for public office. One reason we've had such bad political leaders is because in some places only the bad ones offer themselves for office.
That's right.
There are many places which Christian men and women could get the vote if only they offered themselves. Daniel in the Bible lived in one of the most heathen countries in the world, but he was prime minister under 7 different kings in 2 different empires. We need men and women like Daniel today.
Yes.
My father's 97. He hasn't changed his convictions. The choice may not always be clear, and you might just have to vote for the least of the 2 heathens. I don't know.